Today we'll discuss about functional anatomy of the spinal cord. Spinal cord is located in the vertebral canal. It is extended from foramen magnum to lower border of first lumbar vertebra. It has three coverings which are known as meninges, and from outside to inside they are dura mater, arachnoid mater and pia mater. Now here you can see outermost one, that is dura mater, this one. Here it is shown, here it is this one, dura mater. Outside the dura mater is epidural space. This one is the epidural space. Okay, this is dura mater and this is epidural space. Then inside the dura mater is subdural space. Just inside subdural space is arachnoid mater. This one is arachnoid mater. Inner to the arachnoid mater is subarachnoid space. Here this blue colored one, which has cerebrospinal fluid. And innermost one, this is pia mater, this pink colored one. Okay. Now, length of the spinal cord. It is about 45 cm long in males and 43 cm in females. Shape, it is cylindrical shape and it has two spindle shaped swellings. One spindle shaped swelling is there in the cervical region and other is present in the lumbar region. Another terminology related with the spinal cord, that is conus medullaris. What is this conus medullaris? When spinal cord ends just below the lumbar enlargement, this spinal cord ends as a, you can see here, narrow cone shaped termination, and this narrow cone shaped termination is known as conus medullaris. It's visible here also. This is conus medullaris. Okay, and after conus medullaris you can see here this one, there is non-nervous filamentous extension. This is made up of pia mater and this is known as filum terminalis. You can see here this is filum terminalis and this is conus medullaris. Now, spinal cord has 31 pairs of spinal nerves, which include 8 cervical segments, 12 thoracic segments, 5 lumbar, 5 sacral segments and 1 coccygeal segment. Now, spinal nerve, it consists of, this is a spinal nerve, this one, which is emerging out from the spinal cord. It has two roots. One is ventral root or anterior root and other is dorsal or posterior root. And as we all know, according to Bell-Magendie's law, dorsal roots are sensory. So these are sensory roots. And ventral roots are motor. Okay. So here ventral as well as dorsal roots, they both form a spinal nerve. Another terminology is cauda equina. What is this? Here you can see we have discussed conus medullaris. After that there is a filum terminalis, this one. Filum terminalis. Now, what is cauda equina? It is the bundle of descending roots. You can see here multiple descending roots are there, which surrounds filum terminalis. As we have discussed, this one is filum terminalis. And this bundle of descending roots, they form tail of the horse and therefore it is known as cauda equina. Now, here again you can see various spinal segments are there. As we have discussed, 8 cervical, 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar, 5 sacral and 1 coccygeal segment. And this shows the diagram of spinal nerve, which has both ventral and dorsal roots. Again here this shows ventral and dorsal roots. Now, internal structure of the spinal cord. Spinal cord is divided in two equal halves by anterior median fissure. You can see here is a fissure, and posterior median septum. So it is divided in two equal halves. Okay. Lateral to this anterior median fissure, this way we are drawing the spinal cord. So lateral to this fissure we have anterolateral sulcus here on both the sides, whereas lateral to this posterior median sulcus, again we have posterolateral sulcus here on both the sides. And in between these two we have another more sulcus which is known as posterior intermediate sulcus. Am I clear? So these are various fissures and sulcus. Let us repeat. This is anterior median fissure, posterior median sulcus or septum, anterolateral sulcus, this is, then posterolateral sulcus, this two, and posterior intermediate sulcus. Now, grey matter of the spinal cord. As we all know that white matter consists of nerve fibers, neuroglia, blood vessels in the central nervous system, and grey matter in the central nervous system consists of collection of cell bodies as well as neuroglia, blood vessels. Small amount of dendrites and parts of axons are also present. In spinal cord, here this is a grey matter. You can see here dark color area. Shape of the grey matter is like letter H in English. You can see here this is letter H. Okay. In the center there is a canal. You can see here small one canal, and that is known as central canal or spinal canal, through which cerebrospinal fluid flows. Anteriorly, this grey matter has two horns which are known as ventral grey horn. You can see here this two. And posteriorly, dorsal grey horns are there. Okay. As well as lateral grey horns are also present in thoracic and two lumbar segments. Okay. Now, here as we have discussed, there is a central canal or spinal canal. Okay. Now, in this H shape of the grey matter, part of grey matter anterior to this central canal is known as anterior grey commissure. You can see here this part. And part of the grey matter which lies posterior to the central canal is known as posterior grey commissure. Now we discuss about neurons in the grey matter of the spinal cord. Mainly three types of motor neurons are present in the anterior grey horn. As we have discussed, dorsal horns are sensory and ventral horns are motor. So in ventral horn we have motor neurons. First and foremost, they are alpha motor neurons. Here you can see in this diagram, this is alpha motor neuron. These alpha motor neurons are large in size and they are multipolar cells. They come out through anterior root of the spinal cord and they supply extraphysial fibers of the skeletal muscle. You can see here. Second variety of neurons, they are gamma motor neurons. You can see here in between alpha we have small gamma fibers also present. This also they come out through the ventral horn. The difference is, one, they are small in size, and second, they supply intrafusal fibers of the skeletal muscle. Third variety of cells present in the grey horn, they are Rancho cells. These are small cells and they are known as inhibitory interneurons. You can see here black colored one, they are Rancho cells. They inhibit the neuron which excites them. You can see this red color one excites Rancho cell, and Rancho cells black colored one, they inhibit the red one. Okay. Now neurons in the lateral grey horn. Lateral grey horn, you can see here this green one. it is present in T1 to L2, that is first thoracic to second lumbar segments. They are present in the sympathetic preganglionic fiber. These neurons, they give rise to sympathetic preganglionic fibers. They also come out through the ventral horn, but the neuron is present in the lateral horn. Okay. Now we discuss about lamina of Rexed. There are 10 lamina present in the spinal cord. They are lamina number 1, which is also known as postero-marginal nucleus because it is dorsal most as well as it is at the margin. Lamina 2 is also known as substantia gelatinosa of Rolando. Important lamina we will remember. Then lamina 4, 5 and 6 is also known as nucleus proprius. And lamina 7, you can see here, this is 7. It is also known as Clark's column cell. Okay? At least these 4 lamina you have to remember. 1, that is postero-marginal nucleus. 2, that is substantia gelatinosa of Rolando. 4, 5 and 6, that is nucleus proprius. And 7, that is Clark's column cell. Now, neurons in the posterior grey horn, as I told you, 4 lamina are important for we people. So starting with first substantia gelatinosa of Rolando, that is lamina number 2. It is a cap-like gelatinous material which is present at the apex of the dorsal horn. You can see here. Posterior to this substantia gelatinosa, you can see you have a marginal cells. They cover substantia gelatinosa. Third, chief sensory cells. This one, they are situated in the remaining part of the dorsal horn. Fourth one, they are Clark's column cells. They occupy inner part of the dorsal horn. White matter of the spinal cord. White matter in the spinal cord, it surrounds the grey matter and it consists of myelinated as well as unmyelinated nerve fibers. In spinal cord, we have 3 white funiculars, which is also known as white column. Anterior white funiculus or ventral white funiculus or ventral white column. It lies between anterior median fissure, this one, and anterior grey horn. So this one is our anterior white funiculus or column. Lateral white funiculus, this one, it lies between anterior grey horn and posterior grey horn. And posterior or dorsal white funiculus or dorsal white column lies between dorsal horn and posterior median septum here. This diagram again shows internal structure of the spinal cord. Again, as we have discussed, H-shaped grey matter, central canal, anterior grey commissure, posterior grey commissure, anterior grey horn, these 2, posterior or dorsal grey horns, then anterior median fissure we have discussed, posterior median septum, then anterior white funiculus, these 2, lateral white funiculus and dorsal white funiculus. Now, tracts of the spinal cord. Spinal cord has 2 varieties of tracts, one that is short tracts and second that is long tracts. Short tracts are again of 2 types, association tracts and commissural tracts. Association tracts means, you can see here, these are association tracts. They connect adjacent areas in the spinal cord on the same side. I repeat, association tracts connect adjacent areas of the spinal cord as well as brain on the same side. Then second is commissural tracts. These commissural tracts, they connect opposite halves of the same segment. You can see here from this side to this side. Suppose particular area of right side of the brain or spinal cord to left side of the brain or spinal cord. So these are short tracts, and long tracts, they connect spinal cord with other parts of the brain, and they are of two varieties. Ascending tracts, they carry impulses from spinal cord to the brain, and therefore they are also known as sensory tracts. And descending tracts, they carry impulses from brain to the spinal cord, and therefore they are known as motor tracts or descending tracts. So this is all about functional anatomy of spinal cord. Thank you.